Alright, so welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports. It is pretty early in the morning. This is a special auction pickup video. I guess you would call it a potential pickup video. But there is a baseball card auction just literally 2 miles from my house, if that, today. And I was on Craigslist last night, late in the evening, and I saw this posting that was just posted. The number to the left here is the auction number that they assigned. That's all that is. Then obviously, like number 42 is the 1960 Mantle All-Star, a 60 Mays All-Star, then the price. So I'm just going to kind of go up the list here. And this is the list of stuff that I'm interested in. There were a lot of crap commons. I don't want to say crap, but there were a lot of commons on there that I just don't have any interest in bidding on. Meaning, I get them for 50 cents from my connection. I wouldn't go to an auction and pay $20 for them. So, just want to kind of show you the hit list. And I always bring this, even though your smartphone is handy. But this is my baseball Bible, so to speak, that lists every card up into 2008. And of course, all the vintage stuff is listed in there. So, when you're going vintage auctioning, great book to just throw in the car or whatever in case you need to go out and look at something. And know what I'm looking at is I go through and I pretty much just take a notebook, handwritten, just like so, the items that I'm interested in, written down, and I simply went through eBay and I put a range of what those cards would be raw. You know, from a 59 Mantle All-Star, you know, some of the 58 Williams All-Star, 59 Mays, Banks, 61 Billy Williams Rookie, and I just simply write down the range of what I've seen them sold for. And this is the sold for pricing. Looks like the parking lot's pretty full. So here we are. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to record once I get inside, so from the looks of this, cards aren't going to go cheap today. So we may be walking out of here empty-handed.
Her 50, but they would have been beat. Her 41, you 50, then they would have been, you baby, 141, 50 cents. 150 bucks, who wants it? 140, 150, 140, 50, but here, would have been, you baby, you pair to have you on that. Traded off, $140. 91. Hey, what you got now? So much a piece. Hey, look here, but I'm here, $10 down here, $10. That's 10, 12 and a half, out there, 12, 15, $15. I get 15, a little bit of a 15 here, 17.50, and now 20, so 22.50. Now 5, 25, I would have been $25 now, 7.5, and 30 back to you down here, $30. That's 20. Expect that time out of my house. Do you?
Right.
Do you have to keep your finger on them pedals? Hey, do you have to keep your feet on the pedals? Or I might be interested in it. I wonder what to do this. Yeah. All right, guys, look right there. I have no idea. Right there, they would have had. They're 20, 20, but all it. 20 bucks and 5 idea with a bad idea, about it, 20, 25. They give $10 from my grandfather clock. Money's on $30, money's on 35, 40, down here 5, 45 here.
I certainly hope all these people aren't here for baseball cards, because a lot of this stuff that they're selling is way overpriced. I mean, this is more with an estate sale with baseball cards. So, with at least 120 people here, it's going to be hard to get anything for good, cheap prices from the looks of it. So, this may be a bust.
That's that Mickey Mantle card, a good card right there.
Here, $150 on 101 for 150, 101.
Next one is number 3, and it's, yeah, you can, Hank Aaron right there.
Hey, Hank Aaron, this is number 3, buddy, but I'm on 30, 40, and 30, who wants in here, 20, nobody, and 25, and go down here, nobody, go down here, 20, 20, song here, guys, 20, number 9, and 20 right there, 5, $10, 15, 20, 30, 30 here, and 30, buddy, but I'm 25 and 30, and 30, 5, 35, 40, down here, you can find right there, 35, 41. $35 right back there. 104, 104.
Number 4 is Bob Clemente.
Yeah, what about that one out there? 40, 50, 40, man, they get about 40 to the pan, but they put it back there, 30 to 5, and 35, they get deals on 35, 35 to $35, you can buy, now 40, pay right there, $40, and 35 to get 40, all gone, now they get back, they get 35 to get 40, they 40, they get 35, 40 now, 5, 45, 50, $5, and again 5, they would have had 45 to get 51 here, $45, that'd be on 101 for 45, 101 for $45.
Number 5 is Bob Gibson.
Hey, Cardinal time goes in here, 25, and 25, and Bob Gibson, 25, 30, and 30, and 25, 30, and 5, 40, and 5, 45, you move down here, and 45, you only go down, 45, you 45, and 45, here, down 5, and 5, and 40, 45, here, $40, 104 for 40.
Number 6 is Brooks Robinson.
He's got that one, 10, 20, 20 to 5, and we're going to get about 20 to 5, and 20 to 5, and what about 20, 30, 20, 25, and 20 to 5, and what about 25, you're way down, 25.
200.
200 on it.
Number 7 is Ernie Banks.
He's got that one, 10, 20, 20, 30, 40, what about 50, 50, 40, bucks, 45, and 40 and 5, what about 50, 40, $40, 127.
Number 8, Mickey Mantle.
Here's Mickey Mantle card right there, 50, 60, 60, 70, I'm going to say it, I'm going to set it my way here, I set it on 60 and 70 and 80, by the 80 to 90, 100, 10, 20, 120, by the 80, 10, 20, 10, 20, 110, $101, 101.
Okay? 24, 25 is a double-sided, and 26 is a double-sided. You're bound them all.
All right there, 12 and a half feet, and for the back of the ball, 10, 12 and a half, 15, 17, 50, 20, 250, young man down, 12 here, 22 and a half, 25, 27 and a half, 30, now 30 right there, you learn now, 30 right there, for the back, 2 and a half, 30, 255, 35, 750, 37 and a half, 40 bucks here, 40, 250, 42 and a half, 45, now 5 right there, for the back here, to go down, 2 and a half, now 5 here, 42, 50, 104.
Whoa.
27 by itself, it's a double-sided.
Yes, 7, 15, 20. I get 15, 20 right down here. Everybody put it down. Get about 17 and a half here. 15, 17, 15, 20. 22, 15, 20. Yeah, now to the here. 22 and a half right there. Everybody be both down here. 250, 2 and a half. Now 5, 7, 15, 30. 30 right there. 30 bucks there. We'll take here. 250. And now 5, 30 right out of 35, 7 and a half here. 37, 50. You back in here. 37 and a half down here. Everybody with the back here. 37 and a half here. Now 40. And then 2 and a half. And 42, 55. 40 right out of it. 45. You're back in. You're back. You're back. You're 45 here. 40 right out of it. Wait a minute. 42 and a half.
Wow.
165.
All right, so I just got back from the auction. Overall, my thoughts are a lot of things sold for a lot more than I thought they were. There were a lot of people in attendance, so I knew when I saw the parking lot and all of the people scurried around the cards that things would not go for cheap. But if you remember my notebook from earlier, what I did is I tried to write down in the column to the right here what everything wound up selling for. And as you can see, there's some examples like this 59 Barra, which, you know, goes for about 10 to 18 bucks on eBay, one for 45 bucks. You know, 61 Frank Robinson, 5 to 15 went for 22 bucks. So it was very, very hard to find anything that I felt was a bargain. There were a few cards that were early on in the auction that I felt were decently priced, but I still didn't want to drop $40 to $50 on them to get them, because that's pretty much what the raw retail value for those are. I apologize about the camera work here. I'm still doing this freestyle without a tripod. I'm trying not to shake it too much. But with that said, towards the end of the video I shared at the auction there, and going back on the video footage at the auction, that was shot on my cell phone, so I apologize if the quality wasn't quite there. It wasn't as good of a camera, obviously, carrying my cell phone around. But I recorded that footage without anybody really knowing it. I didn't really ask for permission to do it. I kind of tried to be as inconspicuous as I could when I did it. So, what did I get? Alright. I picked up randomly 3 sight unseen pages of cards from the vintage era. Had no idea what I was bidding on, but they grouped 3 pages together, so I thought, what the heck, I'm not going to walk out of here empty-handed. Let's roll the dice, like almost opening a pack of cards. Let's see who I get. So I did walk out a little bit, in my opinion. Sorry about the blurriness there. But the one sheet has some 61 tops on it. And there's no, you know, real big names or anything like that on there. Just your basic run-of-the-mill commons here. But the bottom part of that page has a Louis Aparicio and a couple 63 tops, Washington Senators and San Francisco Giants team cards. So, you know, not the best sheet, but at least there's a Hall of Famer and a couple team cards on there. There's also an Albie Pearson, who was former Rookie of the Year, who I actually got through the mail recently, so I might consider sending that. And there's a Johnny Antonelli, who also is a pretty decent signer. So, pretty happy overall with that page. Now this one, not really the best either, but some more 61s, and there's, you know, some common rookies. Rookie. Yay. Unfortunately, they're not the Billy Williams rookie. But, or the Ron Santo. I believe Santo's got one of those too. But really the only one that I saw that I could really think I could do something with was this Juan Pizarro, as Juan signs through the mail. So I might get that, you know, to him in the mail. You know, but the rest of these, yeah, might do a little research to see if some of these other guys are alive still, and maybe send a few to them. Now, this last sheet has a Hall of Famer on it too, so I was very happy that this randomly came into the pile, and it's actually in pretty darn good shape, this Hall of Famer card that I'm about to show you. The second thing is I love the design of the rookie cards out of this set. I've always enjoyed this set. I've got a Frank Howard one that I got autographed in the past. But the Hall of Fame card is a Walter Alston. So all the LA Dodger fans out there, this is a beautiful Walter Alston manager card. And if you look at the back, look how clean the back of that one is compared to the other ones. And I don't know, you know, maybe the vintage collectors out there can tell me that this is how, you know, the manager's cards looked that year, or is there something special about that compared to that? I mean, I just don't know. And so that's kind of the nice ones, you know, the group. These rookie cards aren't anything, basically. And, you know, the guys down here aren't really much either. I mean, Chuck Cottier, I know I've gotten him in the mail in the past, so I might see if I can dig out some more manager cards of him, because he managed in the mid-'80s with the Mariners. So I might have some Chuck Cottier cards laying around that I might be able to put in the mail and ask him to sign. So, in closing, here are my final thoughts. You know, I paid $17.50 for the sheet, you know, all three sheets, which, you know, roughly comes out to a little more over 60 cents a card. Now, that's not bad. That's not horrible for vintage cards, but some of these are in ridiculously bad shape. You know, you'd be lucky to get a quarter for these in some circles. But I lucked out and was able to at least get a couple Hall of Famers out of this. Now, there were other sheets there from the same era, 60, 61, 59s, whatever. And some of those went for $40 for sheets of three. And they weren't anything that special. I mean, there was, you know, one with like a Kenny Boyer card on it. I think there was, you know, maybe a Bill White one. But being that this was in Missouri, I feel that the Cardinal price drove up the price on a lot of these. This would probably be the same with anybody that lives in a regional area of a baseball team. If you're outside of Cincinnati, obviously the Reds are going to go for more there. If, you know, you live outside of Los Angeles, the Dodgers might go, you know, for more or whatever. Or on the East Coast, the Red Sox or the Yankees or whatever. So I think going to live auctions used to be, in my opinion, a very good way to get vintage like this, but the prices of current auctions for raw cards like this aren't up with the times, meaning most of the collectors, not all, of vintage cards are really into graded cards. You know, and some people want mint tins where others could care less about what the condition is. They just want to know the card's authentic. You know, for example, if you picked up a 57 Frank Robinson rookie like I did, you know, a few videos back, even if it's a graded PSA 1, you know it's authentic because there are a lot of, how do I say this, scummy people out there in this hobby now that purposely produce reproduction cards of very sought after cards, and they wear them and they print them on old looking paper stock to make them appear to be vintage. You know, they might even put some creases in them, they might bend a corner or two just to make the appearance that those cards are legitimately from the era that they're supposed to be, like, you know, a 1960 Mickey Mantle or something, or a, you know, whatever. And you see those sometimes surface in these type of auctions. And if you don't have the right eye, you could buy a reproduction or a fake Mickey Mantle card or Frank Robinson card. And I've read some of your comments below, you know, in some of my other pickup videos about flea markets and antique malls. And there is an antique mall in my area. I mean, it's not my area, it's a couple hours away. But I was just there about a week ago, and I saw some of the most fake reproduction, reprint, whatever you want to call it, vintage cards that I've ever seen in my life. And to a person that hasn't collected in the hobby for as long as I have, you could very easily confuse them for being authentic. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, reprint cards were pretty easy to spot, but the things that are coming out on the market now, you got to really know what you're looking for, because even the weight and, you know, the type of paper that they use is the biggest indicator. But just by looking at it in a sheet of cards like this or a top loader, you might think it's a real card. And next time I go past that place, if that person's still there, hopefully they chase them out of there by the time I get there again, I might record some footage on my cell phone and just shoot a video discussing that, and, you know, just trying to educate the people out there about the bad side of this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a little different pickups video. I thought I'd take you on the road with me on this one, and you kind of live through what I lived through and see the auction for itself, and see how, yes, these auctions appear to be a good place to buy cards, but realistically, when you go there, unless you're willing to overspend on stuff, you're probably not going to find a real good deal. I heard a couple other collectors, you know, by me say, you know, man, I should bring my cards here to sell them, because for what people are paying for a, you know, a Kurt Flood 59 tops, that's worth $3 to $5, $28 out the door. I mean, for a Kurt Flood. And again, he's a Cardinal. So if you're, I guess, in the market to sell your vintage stuff, going to these type of auctions might be worth it, you know, because you're going to get more probably than it's worth than if you just post it on eBay and post your sales. But in closing, if you're a young collector just getting into the hobby, looking to get into vintage, here's my recommendation. Yes, these are hit and miss type of auctions, but find a reputable card shop or dealer to card show that deals in vintage, and just go buy from them. I mean, support the hobby on that side, because you're not going to go to an auction like this and find the Mickey Mantle rookie card. Those days are over. The days of the internet taking over the marketplace for sports cards, and any other collectibles for that matter, are pretty much allowing people, including the auctioneers, to know what things are worth. So if you saw the video, if you watch closely, it really wasn't revealed when I recorded this, but the gal that was screaming out the auction numbers during the auction, she was shill bidding during the auction. So, like, she would say, here's sheet number 6, and I'm going to put $20 down, opening bid, for just one sheet of cards. And those would wind up going for $40 or $50. And I didn't really record all of these, you know, sheets going through, but when you got down to the lesser name people that nobody knew, they started grouping them together, and that's when I jumped in. So thanks for watching. Comment below if you want to see other videos like this. This is a little out of my norm. As you guys have watched my other pickup videos, I usually don't take you on the road. So let me know if you enjoyed this, and I enjoyed shooting this for you guys. Thanks.